It's got a soul, this hero farm. It falls asleep inside my arms. We work the fields under the stars. The love is here at Goldshop Farms. Well, city life, yeah, it had its charms, but we would dream of the fields under the stars. I fall asleep inside its arms. The love is here at Goldshop Farms. The
Let
love
loose
is
the goose!
here at Goldshop Farms.
Hello, everybody, and it is good to see you all tonight. I'm back with another farm meeting, hanging out for the next while, taking your questions, chatting with you about stuff happening here on the farm for another one of our farm meetings. And let me just tell you guys, I am doing really well. Things are going really well here on the farm right now. It's kind of full on spring at this point. I mean, spring. I should say I feel like we're fully into summer at this point, which I wasn't sure if we'd be that far. You know, it's always a crapshoot what you get for May weather here in Vermont. You know, I've had like snow on May 15th, but for the most part, it was a very warm May and got a lot done. And now, I mean, if you look around the farm and you can actually see it in sort of the opening montage that I played there just a second ago, and here I'll play it again just so you can kind of see it as I talk about it. Like the grass is growing crazy and it's absolutely everywhere. I am moving the cattle every day. What you actually see right here, right now, is sort of the sneak preview of tomorrow's video, which will be all about the Happy Cattle Mobile that you see right there. You can see Belinda Carlisle and Jimi Hendrix rubbing up against it. Anna Green Gables is enjoying it. That's Joey Ramone, I think, in the back. It's this cool new invention that I built, and well, if you guys follow us on TikTok or Instagram, you probably know a little bit more about it. But it's kind of a cool little structure. Now, I know one of the questions that everybody's going to have is about Abby Dabby Doo and how's Abby doing and what's going on with Abby. I titled this one about Abby because when I was going through my comments and emails, I was like looking to see like what's the question I get the most about the farm these days. And far and away, the question that comes up the most is about Abby and how is she doing and what's going on. And so I do want to talk a little bit about that and really make that a chunk of the discussion here at the farm meeting. But there'll be obviously other things we'll be talking about the cattle, talking about Toby Dog, talking about the barn cats, the goslings, new hatching plans, like all of that I'll be talking about tonight. You'll be hearing about it all. But I do want to, before we jump into the kind of the meat of the meeting, say a shout out and thank you to our moderators who, without them, we would not be able to do this. I can see Rose from Wholesome Roots, Carrie from Built on a Rock. I thought I saw, 13 Moons Over Mayhem. You know, guys, without these folks helping moderate this, it would not be possible to do these farm meetings. So if you can, kind of support their channels, check them out. They all make some really great content. I think Breaking New Roots as well. Yep, Olivia and Pete from Breaking New Roots, also moderators. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So let's talk about Abby, though, because I know everybody's very, very curious, and I probably overly clickbaited the title. I was looking at the pre-chat before I was logging in here, and it seemed like everybody was worried. Let me just clarify a couple things right out of the gate. Number one, Abby has not been booted from the farm. She's just outside as I was doing my egg collection for the evening. She runs around with me. She's doing really good. She is adjusting to the farm. She is still not like a full livestock guardian dog like Toby's a livestock guardian dog. You know, Toby Dog, I can just set loose and he has free reign, carte blanche, does whatever he wants around the farm. Abby is still restricted. When I'm not around, I do lock her in her kennel. It's a good sized kennel. I mean, I measured it out one day. I think it's like about 250, 300 square feet, something like that. So it's like plenty of space, and she comes out anytime I'm in the area, and she hangs out with me. Oh, Christina, that is so sweet of you. By the way, I saw a note came in from you. I know I got to read it. But thank you, Christina. Gosh, I really appreciate that support. I'm glad to hear you're doing better too. But yes, so Abby is she like has gotten so much energy. I swear she is the biggest, hardest hearted animal that you can see on the farm. Here she is flashing back to about a month and a half ago when she had her hernia operation. Yeah, just such a sweet dog. I have absolutely grown to love her. She's not going anywhere. So the question of, is the training going well? And I'd say it's going pretty well. She's got a couple of weak spots that I'm still trying to work on with her, particularly around chasing chickens. But overall, things are going well. You know, she actually does really well with the geese. She's a little too interested in wanting to play with the goslings, though. I've noticed that. But actually, where her kennel is set up is directly next to where the goslings hang out during the day, and so they are spending a fair amount of time together. And so hopefully that's sort of desensitizing her to them. So yeah, I think that's like the basic gist of where's Abby at. I think that the other major Abby question I often get is like, do I plan on breeding her? And honestly, guys, it's sort of still out for jury. But if I was gonna make a decision right now, I'd say the answer is no. Number one, she has this genetic issue related to the umbilical hernia, which I'm very concerned would be passed to future litters. And so if I'm going to do ethical breeding, that's kind of a disqualifier. And I can't quite talk about some of those details related to that just yet. But at some point, I will give you guys the whole nitty gritty story in a video. I'll just hint, though, that I am dealing with some drama around that one. So there's that. Then number two, just in terms of her temperament and behavior, you know, Toby Dog is the ideal livestock guardian dog. And so, you know, as far as he does, he's like, I want to see him create offspring just because he's exactly the right temperament. Abby's not quite right. I mean, like, you know, I think with some hard work, I'm going to get her there. And, you know, with a fair amount of training, she will ultimately be in a place that I will feel very confident in how she performs as a livestock guardian dog. But she's not like a natural. It's taken a lot more work with her than it is with Toby. And you know, that is what it is. Each dog you have to evaluate on their own merits, but that does affect whether or not I would breed her. And so, like I said, jury's still out, but I also absolutely love that dog. So that's my kind of piece on Abby. If anything is, you know, kind of follow-up questions on this one, feel free to throw them in the chat. If you do have questions, by the way, throw them in caps. It just makes it easier for me to see them. Please don't abuse that, though, just to get my attention. But like, if you have a question, throw them in caps, and I'll try to answer them. Let me take this question right here from Nancy Webb. So what are the plans for the new hoop coop? It's looking pretty sad. Yes, I 100% agree with you, Nancy. It is looking very sad. I'm going to be tearing it down I'd probably say in about a week or two. I am in the middle. The big project I'm working on right now around the farm is I am fencing our upper pasture. So there's about 20 acres of pasture that I'm putting a 5-strand high tensile electric fence around the perimeter of those acres. And that's ultimately going to give me a lot more space to graze cattle. And so that's what I'm working on right now. It was really rainy, so I didn't get actually much done today. But I've been like over the last week and a half working really hard on that one. And I expect probably another week and a half's worth of work before I'm done. And so that is the big focus. But as soon as that's done, I will be tearing down the existing hoop coop now that I'm not doing my hatching experiments. And I will be building out the new hoop coop, which will be about twice the size. And I bought a kit basically, and it's a very cool kit. And I'll do a video on all the details of this. I have all the materials here sitting on the back part of the farm here. And so it's just a matter of me having the time to tear down the old and build up the new. So, so yeah, so that it's coming. I would say that by, I don't know, I would hope by mid-July at the latest, it'll be up and running, Nancy. But great question. Okay, let me keep hitting these questions. When will Toby make an appearance on your live streams? You know, I still haven't. I got to admit, it's hard because my internet is way patchier. I have internet now down out in certain parts, like what you see on the screen over by the duck house. And so in theory, I could have Toby and even Abby on. It's hard. In my office here, I have everything set up. It's really easy for me to like look. I got a giant monitor. I can do so much with the live stream. It's so much harder for me to try to do these out in the farm. And so at this point, I'm not. April Cheney asks, will I ever host a meet and greet? You know, I looked at actually trying to have folks here on the farm, and I ultimately opted not to do that this year. I could see, though, in the future, potentially trying to do some events here on the farm. The other thing, though, and there will be an event happening here in New England, and I think I saw Jack in the chat. If he wants to drop the information for this, or if you tell me, no, don't talk about this. Basically, there is going to be the homesteading event here in New England that I will definitely be attending. And so that would be a place to kind of meet and greet and hang out and do the whole 9 yards. So that would be probably the best example for this year. Thomas D asks, will you consider shepherd training for Abby so she can help move animals about? Probably not, Thomas. She does have a stronger prey drive. She does have stronger herding instincts, but like she's still not a herding dog. It's not like she's a border collie. So I would say that it probably would still be trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, to be quite honest. So I think it's just a matter of I'm going to keep working with her and training her to be a good livestock guardian dog. If you aren't breeding, Abby asks Faori, will you have her and Toby fixed? I'm not, again, I still haven't made the decision, so I'm not 100%, but what I will say is that, I do, I am thinking about it. I wouldn't get Toby fixed because I'm still looking to breed him and might find like some stud work for him essentially. So I wouldn't get Toby fixed, but I would probably, if I'm not going to breed Abby, I will get her fixed. Just based on the advice of my vet, though, I might wait just a little bit. Thank you, Armjoy, for that super chat. Thank you, Brian. My name is Brian, and my wife and I are traveling from Maryland this summer. We'd love to see your farm for my birthday. Unfortunately, Brian, I am closed to the public right now, and I've gotten emails from folks too. Unfortunately, no, please don't come to the farm. We aren't hosting. There's been like a couple of rare instances where we've done like a charity auction where we auction off a visit for some folks, but for the most part, I'm just really not set up to do it right now. So unfortunately, Brian, I'd love to wish you a happy birthday in advance, but we are not open for visits. But thank you for the super chat. Anthony asks, what are some of the long-term plans for the farm? 3+ years, can you let us in on? Come on, man. All right. Come on, Anthony. I will let you know. Thank you for that super chat. In terms of long-range plans, I think the biggest thing, and I'm finding this so much even in the last month, I love working with the cattle. And so expanding out the cattle operation is going to be something I keep doing more and more of, I think. I really do see that as a big part of the future of the farm. Continuing to get more efficient, continuing to get bigger. Those honestly are the biggest elements, Anthony. I hope I don't underwhelm you. Maybe adding pigs in the future would be one thing, but I'm kind of on a trajectory, and what I'm trying to do right now is just get better and improve what I'm doing today and get bigger. If you do not breed her, would you get another female? Potentially down the road, but not anytime soon, Battle Ray. I want to get her fully trained. That's kind of the main priority. Do you plan on getting any more different breeds of ducks or geese? That's a good one, Nice Heart. So let me talk about future bird plans. So we're done with goose hatching for the year. All right, I'm going to let you guys in on something. There might be 1 or 2 nests that still pop up with the geese that if they hatch, those would be the last goslings of the year. But if not, basically, I think we're done with gooses for the year, geese for the year, I should say. But as far as ducks go, I have a bunch of duck eggs, honestly, in the incubator. And so I would say we're we're a couple weeks out from when they will hatch. I also have some chicken eggs in the incubator, a couple weeks out from when they hatch. I tried to time them so that they all actually hatch at the same time. And then I also have a bunch of chickens that are coming later this summer as well. So those are going to be the next ones that really show up. How is the crossbeak gosling or goosing doing? Goosling. She's doing good, Bob. So we have that gosling, and let's see. I think I have a video where you can see her better. I think it's actually in this video. We have this gosling, and she's got like a cross bill, meaning like it kind of like goes almost like scissors. And she's been growing really well. She's kind of on pace with the other geese. Let's see if I can find her in this visual here. Nope, don't see her. So she's growing on the same pace as the goslings the other goslings we have. So that means like her nutrition's doing well. Genetically, doesn't have any problems. She has a home, and so as soon as the goslings get feathered out fully, which I would expect to be in about another week or two, she will be going. It's actually a friend of mine I used to work with, and they've actually already named her Hasami, which and I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of it, is Japanese for scissors. And so I thought that was a very cute name. And so, yeah, that will be the where she ends up ultimately. She will be leaving the farm in probably about 2 weeks, but she has a good home she's going to. I don't want to keep her on the farm, quite frankly, for 2 reasons. Number one, I don't want her breeding with other birds and like passing any of that down. So I got to get rid of that from that standpoint. And then number two, she will get picked on by the other birds. You know, geese can be kind of rough when they're establishing their hierarchies. And so as they get into like teenage and adulthood, I could easily see her getting beaten up. And so I want to be careful there. Are you planning to add more cattle with new bloodlines to your herd? Yes. So DS, the answer is yes on a couple of fronts. So new heifers and cows, as well as I'm working on sort of, I'll call my bull solution. And I'm still not sure if it's going to be AI or a bull. My preference right now would be to do a bull, but unfortunately, I don't have a good line on a bull. Oh, there's Hasami. You can see her right there. And so I would say that I'm probably, there's a good chance it could be AI. But the intention is I want to expand my herd easily. Maybe this time next year, be up to about 20 animals. So definitely growth plans are there for that. Miss Mary Jane, would you ever stream on Twitch? Also, can I get an autograph from Ginny Barncat? Miss Mary Jane, yes. Well, let me say, streaming on Twitch, I don't know. Part of it is I just only have so much time. Maybe I would do that if, right now it's too, I think like Twitch has like some weird exclusivities in terms of stuff I can do there versus if I stream on YouTube or TikTok or elsewhere. So I'd have to kind of work around that. But as far as your second question, yeah, if you just send me a letter, I'll send you back a paw print from Miss Ginny. I'd be happy to do that. Just ask for it, just because I might forget. But yeah, ask for it in there. Okay. Will you hire a farm helper? I would love to. I actually honestly haven't had much luck trying to find somebody. So that the answer is not yet. Thank you, by the way, Steven, for that super chat. Does Abby go out at night with Toby to guard? You know what? No. So I was having her do that for a while, but I recently kind of have found that giving her less freedom has made her better behaved. And so I just don't want her developing bad habits. And so actually the woman who's been coaching me from a dog training perspective, she was encouraging me not to do that anymore either. And so that is actually what you're kind of getting at, kind of the why behind your question. Like, I really want to make sure she's a great, well-behaved guard dog. And so I'm doing everything I can to train her. And unfortunately, that means I do keep her in her kennel at night. Can we get my buddy Alfred song, as I love hearing it? Yeah, you know what, the slag? I'll play that at the end when we wrap up tonight. I will try to find a way to dig that out. I love that song too. I love Alfred too. All right. Oh, thank you, Sarah. What the heck happened to your eggs? That was so sad. If you stud Toby out, pole dancing Toby merch. Yeah, was it like Magic Mike Toby Dog? Yeah, no, I was bummed about the hatching experiment too. It was just yeah. Chris Finley says, "You promised us a bear dairy." Yeah, funny thing about that, Chris. I'm not sure about that one. I love making those videos, just for the record. Did you ever address why you didn't go with yaks, and do you think you would mix them in? So, I mean, I don't think I've ever addressed this, Ashley, but it's a good question. The reason I haven't gone with, say, yaks or bison, I guess is another question I do get asked from time to time, is just they're a lot harder to manage. Cattle for thousands of years have been bred to be domestic farm animals, domestic grazing animals. And so they're just much, much easier to manage than a yak. And so that's what it gets down to. And I think the other thing is just like the market for it isn't there. Like there isn't a huge demand for yak meat. So not only do I have to like produce it, I have to like then find ways to get people to want to buy it. And so it's just not that appealing to me, to be very, very honest, Ashley. And so I'd rather go with the tried and true of cattle, and that's how I ended up with. How many dogs would you ideally have? Armjo, I think that kind of depends on what the farm operation looks like. I think the way our farm is set up right now, I think two is the right number. But as our farm grows, I could see it being more. I love having livestock guardian dogs. I've absolutely fallen in love with the breed of the Maremma. So I could see adding more. But right now, I think two is exactly right. I wouldn't want to add dogs until I have my other dogs trained. And Abby's not trained. Like, I mean, she's just not, I'm not saying she's not trained. She's not at a place where she's trained to be like, she's not 100%. Like Toby Dog is 100%. I don't really need to do much of anything from a command and guidance perspective with Toby. He just knows what to do. I just basically go out there, give him some love and feed him and, kind of do his other, necessary health and wellness stuff, brush him, that sort of thing. But like, it doesn't take much with Toby Dog. I want to get Abby to that same place too. And she's just got a ways to go before she's there. Okay. Is Whiteface Ma Goose going for hatching? She has been trying. So she has tried a couple of times. And yeah, she I keep having to push her out. She's been sitting on nests for so long. I just don't want her to try to do that this year. It wouldn't be healthy for her. Okay, would you ever join the Abundance Plus team? I mean, yes, and I don't want to give something away, so I'm not going to. I do actually. I think I have a video up on Abundance Plus already. And for those of you guys who don't know, Abundance Plus is sort of like a premium network that Justin Rhodes down in North Carolina offers. Like really great content, really great educational stuff you can't find on YouTube, information that you can't find on YouTube that would get censored on YouTube. It's really good stuff. So like I've got a lot of friends who are there, like Justin and like Jess and Jeremiah from Roots and Refuge, Dan Oman from Grass-Fed Homestead, like great people. So I don't know, maybe I guess is the only official answer I can give you, AK. How are the bees? The bees are doing really good, Tammy. Both hives are thriving right now. I actually just did a check this past weekend. I opened them up, checked out how things are going. They're building out frames. I put in additional frames, and yeah, they're doing really well. Spillage Village. Your hound hunting village pushed me to research right retrieval laws. We don't have them here in Missouri, but there's a potential landmark case in Virginia. I know it's Spillage. I put out a video, I think, on this like, about a week or two ago. But yeah, like there's some interesting stuff. I'm watching very carefully that situation in Virginia where there is basically a farmer / homesteader, not that different than me, right, who is suing the state for infringing upon his private property rights because of the hound hunting laws in Virginia. And so I'm watching that case very closely. And as I see what happens there, I might take similar action. There's some slight nuance and differences in terms of how the laws are written here in Vermont. And so there you go. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, if anybody wants a free sticker, you can send it to Goldshop Farm, P.O. Box 225, Peacham, Vermont, 05862. Make sure you send your self-addressed stamped envelope. If you do not send an envelope that has a stamp on it and your address that I can return in, you're not going to get anything back. Just fair warning. And just so you guys know, I know that there's probably some folks, like I even have one just sitting right here that I just did, who are wondering, where's my sticker? It's coming. I've been so busy with so many other things. I've fallen a little bit behind, but yes, they're coming. We're doing our best to get them out. Jason Baker says, I've been watching some hoof and horse cow trimming videos lately, and it made me wonder if the skittish of the herd is causing issues for checking up on them. Yeah, I mean, their hooves are in good shape. I have looked and from what I can eyeball, I don't have any issues. You don't have to do it like every 2 months. It's like you can get away with a year or two without it. And particularly with my Highlands, because they're out on pasture so much and moving around so much, it's not all that necessary. But that said, it's something that I do want to make sure I get done. I'm actually the other project I have. So, I mentioned the fencing that I'm doing right now. I also mentioned the building of the new hoot coop. The other big project I have this summer is I'm building a cattle corral. It's going to double as my winter area, but and it just got delivered today, got a head gate. And so it's like, basically I'm setting up a whole cattle handling system. That way I can, for the veterinary care, drive them in there, get them set up here. Actually, I'm going to show you guys, like, I'm so psyched about this head gate. Hold on. I'm going to dig it up for you. I'll show you the one I got. So I got this, like whole corral system deal. Oh, here it is. It's actually not even just a head gate. It's a squeeze chute actually with a head gate. Wait, let me share this with you guys. But so I just got this. It just got delivered today. And so, oh golly, I'm sorry guys. I just got a new computer. And so now I have to, change my permissions. And oh no, I can't share my screen. Oh, that's no good. Oh no, this is might be a problem here. Oh gosh, what am I gonna do? Because I had other stuff I wanted to share with you. Oh, you know what I can do? I'm gonna do this. Sorry guys, bear with me. I know I'm coming off probably very scatterbrained tonight, but it's always hard for me to do the producing of this as well as talking while I do it. But here, all right, this should be another way to show you how I can share screen. Oh no. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to share my screen tonight. Oh, that's a problem. Yeah, unfortunately, unless I stop the live stream, I can't share my screen because I have to reboot Chrome. But anyway, it's a very cool thing. So I did want to actually, though, talk about a couple of other things too. And I'm just going to talk about this one right now. So there is a nonprofit here in Vermont that I am super, super supportive of. It's actually here in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. And for you guys who don't know Vermont, Northeast Kingdom is the northeastern corner of the state. It's the least populated part of the second least populated state in America. And specifically this nonprofit, which is called the Kingdom All Stars, 100% volunteer run. It basically focuses on promoting music and music education with teenagers here in Vermont or in the Northeast Kingdom. And specifically, they actually have a band that's comprised of kids in the area, and it gives them opportunities to perform and play. Well, there is this free concert that's happening later this summer called Do Good Fest here in Vermont. And they are the Kingdom All Stars are one of the potential candidates. And so I wanted to throw it out to you guys. If you wanted to do me a super huge favor, and I'm going to drop the link right in the chat here. If you can kind of go to this link that you see right here, and actually vote for the Kingdom All Stars, it would mean the absolute world to me. So and again, this is one of those things I actually need to share my screen for, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. If you look at it, right, you'll see Kingdom All Stars. If you can vote for them, and you got to put your name and your email address and give them a vote, it would mean so much to me to do that, because honestly, guys, they're a great organization, super talented kids. I've used some of their music in my past videos and done some other fundraising for them in the past. I would strongly encourage you, if you could vote for Kingdom All Stars, it'll take you 30 seconds right now while you're listening to this live stream. I would love to see it. Yeah, I'm super curious to see it. So, okay, I'm seeing some folks saying done. Yeah, okay, thank you, EM. I really appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys could do that, it would be so awesome. I'm a dog. Oh, thank you, Armjoy. I appreciate that. That's a very generous gift. I'm a dog trainer, and you were doing a great job with Abby and did super amazing job with Toby. You don't have to read this out loud. Just well, oh, by the way, love and taste punk. Well, thank you, Armjoy. I really appreciate that support, and thank you, Laura. I'm happy to share and talk about it. Oh, Havoc's girl. Did you ever find any of Dottie's babies after the skunk? No, unfortunately, I didn't. I'm pretty sure the skunk just ate them. Skunks will do that. Like, they're not going to really try to go after adult chickens, but like chicks like that are a week old, she'll do that. And so that's what happened. I tried to do that, Brad. It wasn't letting me share. I'm going to try this one more time, Brad. I will give it a shot with you right here. All right. Nope, it's telling me I got to restart Chrome. Sorry, man. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Aw, thank you, Michael. I will give everybody some ear scratches. By the way, and I saw this pop up in a question earlier. The soap plan is going ahead full steam. There are going to be 6 initial varieties of Goldshaw Farm soap. The soap is going to be made from beef tallow from our cows, as well as cattle from our local area here in the Northeast Kingdom. Specifically, there are going to be 6 scents. There's going to be a Toby dog. There's going to be an Abby dog. There's going to be a Pablo. There's going to be a Lil. There's going to be a Molly, and there's going to be a Ginny. And so those are going to be all the scents that we have, and I'm super excited for it. I think you guys are going to like them. Caitlin asks, are Molly and Jimmy named after the Weasley girls? Yeah, so like Molly Barncat is Ginny Barncat's mom. And so when we adopted the cats, the family that had them had already named Ginny, and I had to come up with it. They had just been calling the mother, or they'd just been calling Molly the mama cat. And so I was like, oh wait, so if this one's called Ginny, I have to call her Molly, and that's pretty much how it came about. And yes, it's absolutely a Weasley reference. Toby for king of the Northeast Kingdom. But yeah, anybody who can do support. Oh wow, I can't believe I'm seeing all these votes. Oh, you guys are the best. Yeah, you're awesome. Thank you, everybody. Piper Lely. Hey, what's going on, Piper Lely? Unfortunately, no. So, and I think I've mentioned this in other videos, but so I was on this path of trying to make and market to you guys beef jerky, but unfortunately, I couldn't find a facility to process the product in so that that it would be USDA inspected. And so, unfortunately, I've had to put that plan on hold for now. And that's why you actually see me making soap, which doesn't have some of the same inspection stuff. Yusuf asks, are you feeling the gas prices? A little bit. All right, I will say this. So we actually recently got a new car here. We got a Volkswagen ID4, which is an electric car. Allison put the order in for it, I don't know, like a year and a half ago. And so like it has nothing to do with the current gas price situation, but we got it about 2 months ago, and it's been absolutely perfect. Actually, just the other day, I had to go down to Massachusetts for a memorial service for a friend of mine who passed away. And on that drive, which I did like in a day, like it went down and then back, I took this electric car and It's amazing. It really is like living in the future where it's like you don't have to fill your car up. You just stop at these charging stations, charge up for half an hour. I get about 250 miles for a full charge. So yeah, it's been great. So no, I mean, I've been driving my truck less for sure and driving that more. That's probably been the biggest effect. What's the program you use to put viewer messages on the screen? Oh, so I use an application, or I guess it's like a website called StreamYard. And what that lets me do is it lets me like add video. So like when you see me like pop up videos while I'm talking to you guys, like, this sort of thing, it lets me load those and I can play those. It lets me bring up the chat. It's really a good system. If I wanted to have guests call in, it's how it comes together. So yeah, so that is my answer, Golden Gaming. Thank you, Sarah. Have you ever considered getting turkeys or other kind of poultry? Yeah, a bit. It's just, honestly, I've been trying to focus more on geese because I don't think enough people focus on geese, and I think geese are arguably the most important form of poultry. So I've been trying to specialize in geese versus trying to do a whole bunch of little things. Yeah. Hey, Susie Q. How did Tractor Supply do this year with their baby chicks? I mean, I don't know. I am not the official auditor of Tractor Supply, but what I will say is on the stores that I've gone to and seen their chick days, it's been pretty positive for everything I've seen. And I get a lot of emails from folks talking about what they see at Tractor Supply too. It's been positive. So definitely better than last year is I guess what I can say. I can't speak to it over. In Canada, gas prices are outrageous. Yeah, I think in the whole world. I was just talking to some friends in Europe. Gas prices are insane, which I don't know. I always find it funny when people get mad at the president over gas prices here in the United States. It's like, that's not, he didn't do that. Like that's like, it's a global thing that we have going on right now with gas prices. I think the real solution is to get to things like electric cars and move off of a dependency on fossil fuels. I think that's the bigger thing, in my opinion. I think, it's funny because people are like, well, Biden stopped the Keystone Pipeline and all this stuff. And actually the Keystone Pipeline doesn't even do what people think it does. It brings oil from Canada out to ports so that they can be shipped off to places like China is really my understanding of it. So, and it's been running for a couple of years. So it's like nobody stopped anything there. So I don't know. I don't mean to get all political. Sorry. Please tell me that these fragrances won't be wet dog and wet cat. They will not be wet dog and wet cat. They will be things like pine and rosemary and peppermint. Things that you would say, oh, I would like that as a scent of my soap. And they just match the personalities of the various animals that we have here. Will you ever start posting on Patreon again? I yes, I need to, honestly, Lixia. And by the way, thank you. Yes, I actually have some plans for doing some special Patreon stuff this summer. We need to see more Abby Dog and Toby Dog guarding the farm at night. You know what, Raymond? I will do that. Let me, in the not too distant future. I always wonder about those night videos, right? Like how interesting are they? Because like you can't see much. It's hard to shoot videos at night because it's so dark. But yeah, like like I like making them. I think they're fun, and so if you guys like them, I'll happy to make some more. Yeah, so I'll try to make one in the next month or two. Ooh, I have not heard that Little Farm in the Country, but if that's the case, that is awful. I actually be curious to look into. I'm gonna go check in on that. What did you change choosing other than the hay, the feeder? Wait, what did you change choosing Highland? Like what? Wait, and I want to make sure I understand your question, Ty. I guess the reason I went with the Highlands was I just actually had better luck in locating some good Highlands to buy. And then also I kind of just like the Highland personality a little bit better. And just, I think that was the biggest difference. I really wasn't opposed to the Dexters at all. So yeah. Have you ever to see if the hernia is genetic or not? They're actually, not to my knowledge, I don't think there is actually like a test for it. But I will say this: I found, there's like three dogs out of Abby's litter had that same hernia, and so that would to me be an indicator of a genetic based thing, not just like a trauma thing. This is a great question, Taylor. So Abby is getting over her fear of electric fence. So I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted last week, right? Where Abby just went right up to the electric cattle fence and stuck her nose up against it and got shocked. And for a good week straight, she was like terrified of the cattle. She has now kind of gotten much more comfortable with coming out. And whenever I do my farm chores, like cow chores, she comes up there with me. And honestly, she's doing pretty well, and getting used to that. She does really well with the cattle. Like, honestly, she's not a great poultry dog, but she might be an amazing cattle dog from what I'm seeing out of her. So we'll see. Not that I necessarily need a livestock guardian dog for my 1,000-pound giant horned cattle. I think they can handle a coyote or two themselves. What would you do if Toby got sprayed by the skunk the other night? I would have to give him a bath. I would do my best to take care of him. I mean, it's funny. So the skunk, just to clarify too, because I actually feel like I've gotten this question a couple times, is it like it was like a slightly like it's outside of the area that Toby was in. Like the skunk clearly doesn't go into Toby's area. I think it knows. But there are other parts of the barn that the skunk had been going into. I've been trying to trap it, honestly, to try to catch it. Ed, from my experience, yes. If I was going to point to the down, my cattle have been great in terms of their personality. They're very chill, but they're harder to contain. And so yeah, if I'd gotten like Dexter's, I think they would be easier to contain than the cattle I have right now. In terms of other things, though, like, so for example, existing on marginal forage, because I don't have the greatest pastures right now, the highlands are better. In terms of having labors without issues, the highlands are better as well. I mean, you guys saw in my videos, right? I had 4 calves this spring and not a single issue the entire time. Do you eat your pizza with or without the skin? I don't understand that. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Hi, I'm from Southern California. However, originally from Maine, so no Vermont weather well. Love your videos. Give Ginny. Oh, well, is Ginny still climbing on your shoulder? Suzanne, like she has been, yet I've been discouraging it right now. So we're in t-shirt weather, right? And so when I'm in the dead of winter and she's crawling on me with my thick short coat, um, you know, I have no problem with her crawling on me. It's actually kind of adorable and I love it and I encourage it. When I'm wearing a t-shirt though, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And so I think she's noticed that I don't like it as much and so she hasn't been doing it as much. I wonder if she's like if I'm breaking her of the habit as a whole or if like once I start wearing my short coat again she starts doing it again. I really hope she does do it again once I get the uh once I get the like coat back on. Since I can't visit, can you give all the barn cats? I will absolutely do that for you, Armjoy. And again, I really appreciate your generosity and support. And yeah, I apologize. I feel bad because folks want to come and visit, but yeah, I'm just not set up for it right now. And there's even some insurance issues I have, and then I've got biosecurity stuff with bird flu. It's a lot of things. Ah, thank you for doing that. Abby is okay. She's still on the farm. I'm just trying to hit some of the most addressed questions with her. And if you guys have more questions about Abby, I'll happy to try to answer them here tonight. So Ty, are you planning on expanding the perimeter fence? Yeah, like I was saying earlier, the plan is, and this is what I've been working on this week, and I'll be working on again probably next week as well. In that probably fencing in about another 20 acres. So not the entire pasture. So let me see. Do I have slide loaded here? I think I do. Hold on a second. I'm going to pull up something old, but it's going to give you a map. There you go. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. So if you look at this map, right, this is a map of our farm. See how there's the open where it says open? Pretty much that whole area will be fenced in by the end of probably by the end of next week. Where you see 4, that will be something I try to tackle next year. And then I'll probably start to slowly but surely convert some of the other stuff that's forest back into pasture. And that'll be all. Are you planning on having pigs or sheep in the future? Definitely want pigs. Maybe could have sheep. I wouldn't say never on sheep. Maybe is the answer on sheep, but pigs, pretty soon. I hope. I was thinking about maybe getting them this year, but I'm glad I didn't. I just have so much going on. I would be so yeah. This is a good question from Luke here. What percentage of your day would you say is dedicated to farm chores versus media chores? Let me think about that. I definitely spend these days more time, especially this time of year, on the farm stuff. So I don't know, it's probably about 8 hours a day or so on the farm stuff. And given that I'm live streaming here, it'll probably be about 3 or 4 hours for the day on like social media type stuff. But obviously there's overlap between the two. So if I'm doing a video while shooting my chores, it's kind of counts in both buckets. Okay, wait. Sam the man's been asking this question. So I actually, there's like a service. I forget the name of it, but somebody sent it to me through this service. Is how we actually got this painting of Toby Dog that's in the background of it. Okay, the Dabbler asks, the permaculture area is how big? So yeah, the permaculture orchard and the area where like the ducks and geese and chickens all live, that's about 10 acres, just a little shy of 10 acres. The next pasture that I'm fencing is going to be another 20 acres, so I'll have like a total of 30 that's all fenced in. And then there's another, I don't know, I'd say probably about another 10 or 12 acres that it's sort of going too wild, but I could probably reclaim in a year or two. That's also pasture. Thank you, Tracy Hawkins. Gaming, what are you playing? I don't play a lot, but there is one game I play, and it's one part of a game specifically. So I have an Oculus, which is like the VR headset, and I have been playing Rec Room a lot, and I play paintball on Rec Room. I love that. I have so much fun. What's nice about it is it's not like a heavy commitment. It doesn't require like a lot of energy and attention. I can just kind of chill out and play some, and I really enjoy it. So Rec Room would be my answer, Tracy Hawkins, and thank you for that super chat. Yes, and just for those who are joining late, Abby's okay. Abby's still with the farm. She's still struggling a little bit with her training, but she's getting there. She has the biggest heart, and I absolutely love her. It's like I don't know if I'm going to breed her. I think maybe that's the other big thing I've said here tonight. So yeah, that's how Abby's doing. Do you think Toby would guard a penguin like the chickens if he met one? Yes, I think Toby. So like people always talk about Oddball, the livestock guardian dog Maremma that's down, or that was down. I think he passed away. Is in Australia, who guards penguins from foxes. Toby could do that same job, 100%, no question about it. Abby, I don't know about, but Toby, yeah, no doubt. Did you ever have a flock of geese that leaves one goose and keeps attacking? If you did, do you have any tips on how to help? Yeah, so Lenny the goose was often getting picked on like in this way, Bethany and Peter. And so really what it comes down to is just try to separate it and maybe put it with some ducks or some chickens would be my suggestion. If it's getting really, if it's, a little bit of bullying is okay because that's honestly how the birds establish their pecking order, and that kind of is a necessary social structure for them. But if it's like really bad and you're worried about the health of the goose, then I would try to separate and maybe put that goose with some other type of bird, like I said, like a duck or a chicken or that sort of thing. And that's honestly why when I talk about not wanting that scissor beaked gosling, the one, hold on, you can see it here. Where is she? When I talk about this one gosling who has the scissor beak, there she is. When I talk about worrying about her and like her getting bullied, what it really comes down to is, because she's different, because she's probably gonna not have as good or as effective a bite as everybody else. That's why I'm separating her, and I will ultimately send her off the farm. No, Yusef, like I said earlier, we are closed to visitors. How many bears are still on your land? Would you ever capture one? Okay, all right. I gotta adjust because I feel like I've gotten like about a dozen bear dairy questions in here. So I often love April Fools is one of my favorite holidays, and if you can call it a holiday, I guess. And so I often love to have like a prank. Like one year I said that I was going to get livestock guardian tigers. That was back when Tiger King was really big. But anyway, this year what I said was I was going to have a bear dairy where I try to milk bears to make cheese. And so no, that was a joke. That was the April Fool's prank. It was a video that ran. You'll notice these videos only come out on April 1st. And so yeah, no, that was a joke. And I know I do have a number of bear on here. I've seen them here and there. I've definitely seen them on livestock camera guarding or livestock guarding on the trail cameras. I've also seen a fair amount of bear scat in a certain part of the farm. So they're around. And no, I would not capture them. It's illegal actually to capture a bear or capture any wild animal for the purpose of like containing it. So that is illegal. Have you ever tried Pavlov VR? No, Connor, but I would check that out. That sounds interesting. Oh, Gabrielle, I'm so sorry. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. And actually, I can see I'm missing a couple here. Hold on, let me not miss these. How's Dottie the chicken doing? Can you give a shout out to my daughter Princella? It's her birthday tomorrow, and she will be 9. Can kids send pictures and letters? 100%, Monique. So thank you for the super chat. To answer your question, Dottie's doing okay. She's moved in with the ducks, and so she's living in the duck house with the ducks now. So she's not running away anymore now that she doesn't have any little ones. I will say, Abby, of all the chickens that Abby chases, the one she chases the most is Dottie. It's like the white chicken phenomenon. I don't know what it is, but she's got it in for her, and so I got to be very careful with that. But Dottie's doing okay. She's adjusting. I do want to say though, yes, Princella, I hope you have a very, very happy 9th birthday. Yeah, I appreciate watching the videos, Princella, and I'm sure Toby Dog wishes you a happy birthday too. How many barn cats do you have? Any updates on that feral stray cat you caught a month ago? Yeah, so as far as barn cats, we have 3 outdoor barn cats. Pablo barn cat, Molly barn cat, and Ginny barn cat. We have 1 indoor barn cat that I spent 15 minutes petting downstairs, and which is why I probably see me itching my face throughout the whole live stream because I am allergic to cats. Lil barn cat, she's indoors now only. And then that feral one I have seen around. I've been trying to catch him again. I've been trying to catch him, and I've been trying to catch the skunk. Have been 2 animals that I've been trying to trap lately. It's funny, Rocky. Ginny has been like, ever since the weather got really good, she's been out like hunting more. I can tell. So she like, and I also think she doesn't like Abby's energy all that much, and so she doesn't hang around the barnyard nearly as much. She spends most of her time in the barn. Molly Barn Cat's the one who really likes to hang out with the dogs out in the barnyard, with like the bird yard. So yeah. Okay, let's see what else. Thank you, Lixie. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Braden. How is the pond doing, and will we ever let the cattle have access to it? Pond is not doing great right now, honestly. I'm working on some plans to potentially have constant water to it. Um, yeah, it's not there. I will never ever give cattle access to the pond. I won't give cattle access to ponds or streams. Honestly, it's not good. Greg Judy talks a lot about this, where if you do, what they're going to do is they're going to damage the pond by going into it and really mucking it up and turning it into a big mess. And so, no, if the cattle were near it, I would fence it away from them. I would never give them access to it. Honestly, balancing things has gotten a lot easier. I was really struggling this time last year when I had my day job plus all the farm stuff plus everything else. But right now it's actually not too bad. It's a lot of work, and there's like more stuff that I want to do than I can do. But for the most part, I've been just kind of taking it in stride. I've been kind of I actually am putting out a video, I think, this weekend on this topic. But no, overall, I have been really enjoying it. What episode did you show how to start the trees from nuts? My son has black and found one sprouted in a bucket and planted a cucumber last year. It was a great surprise. Oh golly. There is a video where I did that. I'm just trying to think of where. Look for sprouting chestnuts in a bucket. Like if you just search for that on YouTube, you should be able to find it. Sprouting. I'm going to find it for you. In a bucket. Yep, there we go. Here, Terry, I'm dropping this in the chat just for you. I can't wear these jokes. Oh boy. I'm sorry I messed everybody up with the bear dairy. That's a good question, Ben. I like them both equally, but for different reasons and in different ways. If you'd asked me 10 years ago, I would have said I was a dog guy. I don't like cats, but I do spend so much time with cats, and I really do love them. So I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Bill, I don't think I would. Call ducks are not. I mean, they're great if you wanted like pet ducks, but we're a farm, and so pets don't often do well in a farm setting, and so I don't see myself doing call ducks. Hello from Wisconsin. What type of chickens do you have? Also, what color are the eggs do they lay? So we have a whole bunch of different ones. We have hybrids, but we have like Rhode Island Reds, Cochins, Crevecoeurs, Barred Rocks. We just got a whole big mix. In terms of the eggs, one of the things I'm actually leaning towards is not having chickens that lay white eggs. So, which is actually also another strike against Dottie the Leghorn. But like, because I have duck eggs, it's so much easier when I have brown eggs from the chickens. It just makes it easier to sort. Yeah, so there you go. So most of the chickens at this point are doing brown eggs. Hey Tucker, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, I will. I've just been so busy. And honestly, this time of year is hard for me to go live. Like you'll notice I did this even at 7:00 because probably in about 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to start going outside and doing my wrap up chores. It's just, it's harder. Like in the winter, it's easy for me to be done with everything by like 5 or 6 o'clock so that I could go live at like 7:30 or 8. It's a lot harder in the summer. And honestly, I usually will go to bed around like 9:30, 10, and then get back up at like 4:35. And it's just harder. And so, you see me streaming more in the winter than you do in the summer, just based on sort of the cycle of the farm. Thanks, Dad Blur. I appreciate you saying that. Allison's doing good, Jen. She has been doing some awesome work with the garden. She's been off from work the last couple of days. She's just downstairs I actually tried to convince her to come on today, and she's like, "Nah, I'm not going to do it." But yeah, definitely worth it. Oh, thank you, Lunaria. I really appreciate that super chat. I didn't hold on. Let me see if I can see it pop up. There's no way for me to filter. Unfortunately, this is one of the challenges I have. Like no way to filter to see just the super chats. Like I have to go through the whole thing. But I appreciate it, Lunaria. Thank you. Bruce the Goose is he's doing great. He's living his best life. He has his own flock of geese. He is doing really well, and yeah, no. Would you ever live stream your daily chores? You know, Bethany, it's tough. Like, it's hard to live stream outside from here because there's like lots of dead spots and you lose signal a lot, and like I have to stand in very specific places. Um, so it's hard. And then I think the other thing is too, I don't like doing live streams, so I don't think they're nearly as entertaining as like actually making a video. I like to make stories. Oh, Jaden, I got good news for everybody. I have finished the book. The book is done. I am working on figuring out my publishing situation. I actually have a literary agent now, and he's kind of helping me with potentially kind of working through a publisher. So this could be things could be a little different. I was thinking I was just going to self-publish it, but this actually I don't have a release date. I don't have anything. I can say it's done, so I'm not still working on it. But I'm super excited about it. I am. You guys have no idea how pumped I am with how this book turned out. So for those of you who aren't familiar, for the last 2 years, I've been working on this book about Toby Dog as a puppy when he first came to the farm, and it's what's known as like a middle grade book. So it's written for like kids between say the ages of 9 and like 12 or 13. But I tried to even make it interesting for adults, and it's it's like about 150 pages. It's like told from Toby's perspective. He's like the protagonist of the book. Kind of a lot of adventures with him and the barn cats, and I don't know. I'm super excited about it, and it's coming. I don't know exactly when. It probably won't be this year based on some of the potential opportunities that are out there, but it will be coming, and I'm excited for it. What will you do with your new calves? Well then, so with Belinda Carlisle and Bonnie McMurray, so our two heifer calves, I'm just going to grow them up and add them to my herd, and they will be hopefully future cows. And I will, as they reach age, I will try to breed them and have more babies. With Jimi Hendrix and Joey Ramone. Actually, Jimi Hendrix, I've got a couple people who've asked me about buying him as a bull. And so I might actually sell him and, send him that way. I think with Joey Ramone, it's either he's going to be sold as a bull or I will castrate him in the not too distant future and raise him for meat. Hey, look, I know that might sound harsh for folks, but that is why they have dead rock star names. Hey, Chantropolis, thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Where is Alfred? Alfred, he lives on down the road. He's doing good. I probably shouldn't talk about his. He's got something very exciting he's been working on. I'm really excited for him about it too. Oh, hey, Fairy. Today's your birthday. Well, happy birthday to you. I'm sorry to hear you spent it in pain, but I hope you're having a good birthday otherwise. How's having a wood burning stove to adding reducing costs of inflation? We found that a wood burning stove has been great. We use it as a secondary source of heat, and it actually keeps our propane bill because that's our primary source of heat down. And so yeah. Well, I'm really glad, CMMG, that this is relieving your stress. Oh, Lenuria, I'm sorry I missed it. Okay. Will the soaps be suitable for use on dogs or just people? That's an interesting question. I have not thought about that one. So they're designed and have been tested for people. They're meant as people soap. Has always been my thinking. I am not an expert, but based on what I'm using in terms of fragrances, because it's just essential oils for the fragrances, as well as the use of lye and beef tallow. I don't think it will be an issue to use them on dogs, but I don't want you to quote me on that. Let me do some research on that one though, Lunaria. That's a really good question. But they're designed to be people soap is I guess the short answer. Faith is the Triceratops. I've always been a big fan of the Triceratops, even though I'm probably screwing up the name. I think the official name of Triceratops isn't Triceratops anymore. I think it's something else. Hold on, let me see. Is it? It's still Triceratops. Yeah. Oh, so Triceratops is a genus, so it's not just one specific. But yeah, I like the Triceratops, which is actually kind of funny because you think about it, right? It's like essentially the dinosaur version of my cattle. So yeah, there you go. So guys, I wanted to do 2 plugs here. One, I've got a brand new shirt that we're selling. I'm going to drop a link in the chat here. We're starting to take orders. You can actually see me wearing the shirt here in this video. It's a Pablo Escobar shirt. I think it looks really cool. It stars Pablo. It's really good quality. We're actually working with a new shirt company, and so basically the way it's going to work is people have to put in orders ahead of time, and then we're going to print. So unlike where I previously, when I was doing shirts, I had to be on print on demand. The quality just was not good, and so that's why I switched to this new method. And what I will say is, I think ultimately the designs are going to be better. They're printed in America now, and so yeah, I'm excited for them. But if you want, yes, I'm dropping these links in the chat so you can check that out. So that was plug number 1. All right, now let's hit Sarah's question here. I like your flash treating your meat animals well, so they only have one bad. Well, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that super chat. That'll be used to give treats to the animals. And yes, if you click on this link, you can put in your order for a T-shirt. The sale's only going on till June 14th or June 13th, I think. So really, like, act now, or this design will be gone. So if you could check it out. Then the other thing is, if you guys could just take 60 seconds to vote for the Kingdom All-Stars. So I'm going to drop a link in here. The Kingdom All-Stars. Click on this link and vote for the Kingdom All-Stars. It's this incredible nonprofit group. Some really great kids doing music education here in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, in a place that, honestly, they don't have a lot of access to programs like this. And so it's such a great group. It gives them the opportunity to do it. So yes, check it out. Kingdom All-Stars, vote for them for the Do Good Fest. It would mean the world to me if they actually won this thing. They're up against a lot of bands that are from different parts of the state where they have a bigger following. And so to help these little ones win, it would mean the world to me. I'm sorry, Gabriel. I know that is actually the one downside with the shirts. The shipping for international is not cheap. But yes, as Olivia is saying, they can ship internationally. All right, I'm going to take 3 more questions before I got to turn it in, and I got to actually go outside and start doing chores to wrap up for the night. Are you a music man? I love music. I like listening to music. Probably my favorite genre of music is punk rock, but I also like a lot of classic rock, heavy metal, hip hop. Yeah, so I do really like music. I have very, very little, if no, music ability. I think I'm actually a pretty good writer. I think I'm a pretty good visual person. I think I'm visual arts type person. I'm pretty good drawing. I think I'm creative. I have 0 musical talent though, none whatsoever. All right. Okay. Will you sell milk and chicken eggs? We do sell chicken eggs locally here. I actually have a couple of neighbors that buy chicken eggs from us. I don't plan on selling milk though. No. Well, guys, coming from DC area, do you miss DC ever? A little bit. The biggest time I miss DC, Elizabeth, is during hockey season when the Caps are playing. Yeah, I really do miss that and going to Caps games. That's probably the biggest thing I miss. And also the food. Like, I can't get like great sushi around here. There are a couple great sushi spots that I really loved in DC. I am watching Obi-Wan, Rose, and I'm loving it. I've got a couple of friends here. They come over, we watch the shows together, and yeah, those first 2 episodes were great. I'm loving it. By the way, guys, again, a shout out to our moderators who have been awesome tonight and have kept this thing going. So Rose from Wholesome Roots, carryover Built on a Rock Homestead. Where's Lynette? I can't find her. But 13 Moons over Mayhem, as well as Livia over at Breaking New Roots, and I think I saw Jack from the Mindful Homestead. Guys, honestly, without them, we would not be able to do these live streams. So thanks for hanging out tonight. I'll be back again next month. First Wednesday of the month. Every month is when we do these live streams, and I will see you soon. So I hope everybody has a great night. Bye.